Yeah. Hi, and we're live. So, hi everyone. I'm really pleased that tonight we don't have a need to have an extra guest because I have my two favorite guests here. So, having Sean, Naked Sean, and Randy here is
Fully
great.
clothed Randy.
So tonight we're going to go through our favorite Victorinox. I think this was a good backup plan for us. Well, you know, because most people, I think even Paddy likes a Victorinox. He doesn't call them a proper knife, but I think even Paddy, you know, carries a Victorinox all the time. So let me just do a quick check just to see who's in the room, and so we've got Mikey, Baldy's Blades. We've got Chirp as from Blue Collar Pocket Knives, and Tony, or Toby as he's called these days.
Tony.
So Tony, a big thanks to Tony. He's our new social secretary. He organised our meetup, our first Discord meetup, proper, you know, separate to Blade Show. We had a great time. He was a fantastic host. Good to have Mrs. Naked Sean. So she missed out on a good weekend. I guess she's glad to get Naked Sean back. And who else have we got? So I think we've got Dave W. Great to have you here, Dave.
Hi.
And Sean's in the chat as well, which is good. Stuart, Randy's in the chat. That's great. So we can keep up, hopefully. And it looks like Randy's moderating as well, which would be great.
Kind of.
Oh, so Dave has started off. I'm going to come back to your favorite one in a while, Dave. We'll get to that. We'll ask some questions, see how we go. So, as always, shall we start with what beverage you're drinking?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Sean,
why not?
Sean, what have you got?
Tonight it's the old Carling.
The sponsors of the FA Cup, by the look of it, yeah. So
yeah,
that's a good. And I think you have just been polishing off a dirty martini as well, haven't you? So
yeah, but it's sadly it's gone.
Oh, yeah, that's. And Randy, what have you got?
Stirred.
Yeah, shake it. Of course, it has to be that.
Well, I got this in honor of Mikey.
Okay.
Mikey, I mean, not Mikey, but Mikey.
Mikey, right?
Mikey.
And I've got a. I've gone for another Vice beer actually. So I do quite like these. They're a bit cloudy. Yeah, and I'm not drinking my own urine if that's what people think. It's. But
I hope it's not that.
I was just thinking of that urinal today.
The camping place that we stayed in had a very curious urinal. I thought it was very efficient. It was a one-way system as well, but it was mainly a pipe funneled into the ground. I think it was a little bit rustic for Slippy. I don't think he's used to roughing it as much, but it was a quality place to stay. The bikers clubhouse where we had a few beers, and wow, they were really friendly and had a roaring fire going. Slightly noxious gases coming off at some point because they were burning some rubbish, but it was quality. It was warm. We had somewhere to sit, and they were really welcoming. So that was excellent. Just checking. What are people drinking? People in the chat. So Stuart's got a cup of tea. Oh no, I missed that one. Hang on. Stuart's got a cup of tea. Maybe a Guinness. Okay. You're on call, Stuart. Yeah, get that. Yeah. Chirk has picked up that Sean is looking a bit posh now. I don't. I think this is Sean in his camping attire. A bit. Well, I'm pretty much like that most of the time, I think. So.
Well, it turned a bit cooler here, and
yeah.
I don't think.
Have you put the central heating on yet, Sean?
No.
I think
sat
ours
on the
is,
floor last.
yes, you
I'm
did.
hard.
He's tough. They're tough out in Lincolnshire. I think our heating is probably going to go on the 1st of October. So of course, Mrs. Naked Sean has still got her dirty martini, or she's on a second one. We'll leave that to Sean to confirm. And any other beverages going? Because normally when I watch a live, somebody else's live, I normally have a beer on the go where I can. So anyway, that's good. And then as well as that, should we do a pocket check? So Randy, what are you carrying today? Are you still doing the September challenge?
I still got the 501. And then I'm
Ah.
just carrying this little Deodrio pouch with an O light and O pen, or that way. O light and O pen. So just keeping it simple.
Yeah, I need to check. I've got my pouch somewhere. I'll have to get it out. I've just been carrying mine in my pocket. Yeah. That's cool. And
No,
Sean, what are you carrying?
Well, I kind of wavered. I figured it got close enough to the end of the month. And I don't know whether you noticed over the weekend, Mark, I was carrying a Otter dry neaten through with it.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
And it's in one of Griff's slips. He made that.
He makes awesome slips.
Yeah.
And it's ideal size for this knife. It just fits in there a treat.
Yeah.
However, I have still been carrying the old CK Premium Stockman in a Randy slip.
Oh,
excellent.
That's not
even
been
better slip.
far from me this week.
So it's only
and
cheating
also,
a little bit then, yeah. So it's not that's not too bad.
Just wavering off. The thing I've struggled with most of all is trying not to carry a sack, which I've not actually really managed to do very often. I tend to always have one with me.
Yeah.
Well, wait till for Mark.
Most of the time, it's been the climber.
Okay. Let's come back. Let's come back to that in a bit and see what you like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my carry's really boring because it's the Farmer X. So I have been quite strict. Slippy gave me a knife that I'd won and on one of his lives, and I'll show that later. But I put it in my knife box, so I've been trying to be really strict with myself. And even camping, I normally carry a Mora knife when I'm camping because it's just a nice fixed blade. But this weekend, not that we did any camp cooking, we sort of wimped out a bit, didn't we? And had takeaway pizza. So
well, we had a bit of failure, didn't we, with the stoves.
Yes,
Mark saved the day with the.
Yeah, it's still in the car actually. Yeah. The storm kettle that I one like this, but a bigger one. This one you'd only get one mug of tea out of this, but I've got a bigger one that. To be honest, the storm kettles never fail in hurricane, whatever, raining. As long as you can get it lit, it does really well. Just check in for some. No, go on, Sean.
No, I was just going to say, having witnessed that in action this morning, it's on my list to buy because without that, we'd have been screwed really this morning for a hot cup of tea or coffee. I think we were all drinking coffee, most of us were.
It's just a great chance to have a fire, Yeah. And so I like the Trangia system. We'll have to do a stove off at some point and show our favorite stove, maybe.
Oh, I got a nice one.
That would be good. Yeah. I think we'll do that in a future episode. And
I have a little gas stove.
Yeah.
It just comes. It has a little canister, a little tube, and then.
Yeah.
And like when I went last time I went camping, I brought a percolator, enough to make coffee for everybody. But they were all in caravans, as you guys call them.
Yeah.
And they had electric coffee makers and.
Yeah, it's not the. I mean, I don't like to rough it too much. I like to have something comfortable to sleep on, but
Yeah,
not necessarily
Right.
that comfortable.
a caravan can be kind of glamping.
Oh, I think the Dalek is back, Randy. You might need to unplug. Just a quick check of beverages. So who did I see? Somebody's Mikey's got porridge. Okay. Actually, we could have done with some porridge this morning. And Nige has got a hot chocolate. He's on call out duty. And, yeah, I think we're still getting a bit of cracking from you, Randy.
I'm gonna leave.
It was fine to start with, and it's he's gone.
Yeah, I think that was deliberate. I think he's going to reboot and
hang on. So Chirk is saying that the storm kettle might be Dutch. I've heard it's Irish. Irish is the one that people that have claimed it the most, but I'd have to check on that.
All right.
Hi, Randy.
Exterminate.
That's much better.
Right.
Perfect. And so considering that three of us are YouTubers, Dave, we have no video evidence. There are a couple of photos that are probably knocking around the Discord group. I think we were just enjoying being in the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think I was in awe of the knife collections that people brought, and I know they only brought a few. Will had some cracking knives that his brother had made. So
absolutely
we should have taken some photos, but I think we were just enjoying it. Maybe next time we'll do a bit of videoing. We might even get the elusive Tony onto camera as well. I have got a picture of us, but being pretty crap as we are, I don't think at any point we had a picture with all of us there. I think we had a picture with Will, not Tony, and then we've got a picture with Tony, but not Slippy. So anyway, we will do better. I don't think this. Yeah. Will has a great collection of military stuff, and so he was showing us his knives, which was great. But yeah, I think hopefully we decided that we'd do it again next year, and maybe a little bit earlier in the year. Well, not like early, but in the warmer part of the year. But you know, the weather was good. It didn't rain, which is always a good thing.
And I must just say, Mark, Tony did a cracking job of looking after us all.
He did.
Really, really appreciate it, and it's such a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah,
absolutely stunning countryside.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Tony lives in a great place. He was showing us around his many sheds and his many
shed fest
conifers as well. So it was and I had real shed envy, and I think that was just his second shed. I think Mikey had a bit of tractor envy because Tony has some great gear and showed us his knives. It was just brilliant. I was a bit intimidated, I think, by the standard of knives. So I only got mine out this morning when everybody was still half asleep, I think. So, but it was. I think that's really unfair, Mikey. I think there were quite a few bikers there, but a lot of bikers, but no motorbikes, which was interesting. But anyway, they were very welcoming as well. So anyway, yeah. So I think Randy's right. Tony is awesome, and it was a great time. So looking at the topic then for this, so we all have Victorinox, and I think it was an easy topic to pick because we like them. So why do we like Victorinox knives? What do you think? How about you, Randy?
So I grew up watching a TV show called MacGyver.
Right.
He had like about 10 different Victorinox knives, and I just thought it was so cool. I always wanted one as a kid. And I got a knockoff of what is it called? What's the really big Victorinox one, the really thick one?
The Swiss Champ, or?
Yeah, I got a Swiss Champ knockoff, and I'm gonna do a video on it soon. But no, and then back in 1999, I was lucky enough to go over to Europe, and one of the places we stopped at was this little town in Switzerland. We went to a shop. They sold Swiss Army knives, and I guess kind of on topic, it's the Swiss Camper, and it's kind of
let me
1999.
Yeah,
I got my name engraved on it.
Oh, cool.
I carried this forever, full of sand and dirt. But I love it. This is probably my most sentimental one.
And when was that, Randy? That was
1999, and I carried that for 20 years off and on.
So that's 25 years you've had that. That's amazing.
That was the first time I bought myself.
Yeah. And Sean, what attracts you to Swiss Army knives?
Well, I've previously spoken about carrying knives since I was a kid. And it was kind of in the late 80s, I think it must have been. Local hardware shop that I used to pop into had quite a good selection of Victorinox knives. They had one of those advertising displays with a big animatronic.
The moving blades, yeah.
Yeah, and I can remember I went in and was sort of looking in the cabinets and at the different models they'd got, and I chose one of my all-time favorites, which was the Huntsman. And this is the one from, as I say, late 80s. I carried this thing for years and years, and I was absolutely blown away by what I was able to do with it. Really, the different tool sets that it had, the scissors, the saw, can opener, bottle opener. I'd had camp knives before. Originally, my first knife was a Richards sort of camp knife. But the tools on those always seemed to be a little bit lacking, really, never quite functioned, as you really wanted them to.
Yeah.
And I remember using the can opener on this and being kind of really impressed, thinking, shit, that really, it works, it's good.
Yeah.
And all the tools really work well. And the build quality, they're exceptional, considering the amount of knives that they put out every week. You think about, way back when they've been doing this for so long, and they're just incredible.
Yeah.
They're not. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think it's about was it 35,000 a day that somebody said over the weekend that they make.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I first got the bug, and at the same time, I got a Recruit, which I think I've got one here somewhere. Yeah, this isn't the one I got. Sadly, that got lost.
Yeah,
about 20 years ago. But between those two knives, the Recruit is a fantastic first knife. It's a fantastic lightweight carry.
100%.
no back tools, which is comfortable on the hand.
Yeah.
But and the thing was, I wore jeans virtually all the time in those days, and the little fifth pocket, you could slip it in there and didn't know it was there half the time. So it's incredibly lightweight, and just a lovely little quality piece, really.
I've let me put it back. Yeah, so I've borrowed one of my children's recruits. So for my children and my granddaughter, I got them all a recruit and then just put a different tag on them. The only thing I probably wasn't quite as good at doing was supervising them when they were first using them. And I think I've said before, within 10 minutes, 2 of the children are coming with cut fingers. But they've used it since, and they've been fine. But it is a cracking. It's got 2 knife blades. It's got the can opener and the and the bottle opener, which I think that's sort of the Swiss Army sort of trademark, isn't it? Having those 2, almost all of their knives have that. Of a decent size, have that combination. I think I get frustrated sometimes because I think, well, you could just have the combi tool, which is on the Bantam and the Waiter, and we'll have a look at that. But I guess this is part of their sort of trademark. But I think that's a fantastic first knife, because the My First Victorinox tends to be quite expensive. That has the rounded end. It's essentially a Walker, but with a rounded blade as the main blade. I've got the Huntsman as well. So I have a black one, and what I find is amazing with these is that on Amazon in the UK, these are what, £28, which is incredible value for what you get, because you've got the 2 blades and a saw and scissors and the can opener, as well as the back tools with an awl and the hook and the corkscrew. So you have to not mind the corkscrew too much, but I quite like it. I use it for undoing knots. It's really good for that. But I think the Huntsman is quite hard to beat, sort of value for money.
For sure.
Yeah.
So just going through the different sorts of Victorinox, let's sort of start with some of the small ones. So which of the 58mm ones is your favorite? Do you want to start, Randy?
No, go ahead for a second. I just gotta do some links. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Sean.
sure. Go on then, Sean.
Yeah, so I haven't brought my keys out. So the one I carry the most is just the classic SD, because it's on my car keys.
Just like just a red one like this, yeah.
Red colours. I keep saying I'm going to pick a Rambler up, but I haven't done as yet. Same old too many knives, not enough money scenario.
Yeah.
But just the pure simplicity of it. It's a great little, cheap and cheerful
for its size.
It's
really useful.
Covers you for lots and lots of little day-to-day stuff.
And I think if you're modern men like us, and you like to be well groomed, so being able to trim your nails. Well, the other thing is, working with knives, as a hobby, you do tend to, and the nail nicks, especially if you've got any British ones, so you're always cracking nails and things. So having some handy scissors and a nice nail file is surprisingly useful. And so Randy, what about you then? Sorry, let me bring you up into the middle.
Well, I just wanted to, before we get into it, I just wanted to jump in. I had a recruit, and I
Yeah.
gave it to Elon, but it had a blade. Really cool. I really like that one. And then I also have a Huntsman.
Yeah.
Just for quick, I just wanted to show that, and then I'll get to the smaller ones. So this is the custom scale.
Is that the one that came from Martin?
Yeah, this is from Martin, Steel City 9.
Is that Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice that.
I put a fire striker on there and fire tinder, so this is perfect to go camping with. But as far as the SD, this is probably my favorite one. It's the Halloween edition. I guess I should put it this way.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't
Yeah.
And I put
that's cool.
green hardware on it. This is probably my favorite one out of all the ones I bought. I also have a Rambler that was given to me. It's on my keychain right now, and it's hanging up. So, but the Rambler, rather the Rambler than the SD, but the SD is perfect. I've been cheating the knife challenge by carrying an SD, but have not used it. That's probably one blade I never really use is on the SD, unless I really need it. And speaking of build quality, this is the only Swiss Army knife that I have, and I don't know if it'll show up at all. It has blade rub. It's kind of hard.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can see it online.
No, it's hard to see, but
got a bit of scratches on it.
Okay.
A bit of a rarity.
Yeah, I've not had that with mine. Let me just so with my 58 millimeters, the one that I've carried and I've bored people the most is the Midnight Manager, and fifth pocket carry, perfect. It's like the classic SD, but it also has the excellent combi tool, which is brilliant, and has the compulsory cap lifter. I think, as most people know, I like to have a couple of cap lifters on me anytime. And I'll have to find it as well, because Tony gave me a key ring, and that's got a cap lifter on as well. So it's to remind me of the weekend. And then, of course, it has the light, which is great, and it has the pen, which when you open up the file, it's really good for writing with. So I've actually really missed this in September because I haven't been carrying it. But the two other ones as well, I guess, as well as the SD, there's also the Jet Setter, which just has two tools on it. And thinking about it, I could have carried this in September because it's definitely not a knife. So this wouldn't have broken the one knife challenge. So I should have done that, because I was thinking about putting this on my keyring, and I might still put it on my keyring if I'm flying, and just see if I can get away with it. I've watched a few videos now where people have got through airports with it. But the one other thing, which I think, and this is my new knife for this week. I've got another one as well, which I'll show you. But this is the classic SD Alox, and I think this is just a fantastic piece of kit. They do tend to be a little bit expensive, but I think they're pretty robust. You don't have the toothpick and the tweezers, but I think I've probably got a little bit of room on my keyring for this. I do like a bit of a minimalist keyring, but I think putting this on there will just, I think it'd mean I'll be ready for anything, really. So yeah, I've got that ready to go. 1st of October, so Tuesday, I think that is. Then I can put that on my keyring. Just have a quick look. I think we've had a few comments, so let's just pick up on a couple of these. So I think, Dave has said, and I agree with this 100%, that there is a Victorinox for everyone, even Paddy, even good to have Zen Ali in the house. They've got a toothpick and a church key. Not sure what's meant by the church key. Is that the tweezers that you can use as a
Lockpick.
maybe as a lockpick, yeah. So just a quick check as well. So as Mikey said, Huntsman rules, yeah, that's great. Great term send Ali in the house. Yeah, Stuart Huntsman was the first full-size SAK. I think mine was probably a Spartan. I lost it to airport security when that came in. Zen's carrying the Recruit. Andrew, good to have you in the chat, Andrew. So he EDC's a camper. And let's have a look. Good to have Hunting for Hookers here as well. Really like the sound of your October challenge. So he's doing one. I think it's five items. Is that right? 5 items to carry, and then you've got to carry the same 5 items for the whole month. I think that's a good idea because that allows you 2 knives, maybe a torch, and a couple of other things. So so that's great. Quick look down. Right, yeah. Bottle opener is a waste of space. Well, it depends where you are, Dave. So I don't know if you're in the US, Dave, or not, where you have twist off crown caps, but in the UK, our crown caps are pretty firmly fixed on, so you can't twist them off. But I know you can use them lots of other things to open them, but yeah. So some other people on there. Right, Tony's putting forward the Alox Mini Champ. So, and we actually looked at Tony's one. I hadn't seen one close up. They are pretty awesome, and I think they have the Warncliffe and the package opener. They are a bit pricey though. And I am a little bit tight, so I think I've been working up to that. At some point, I'll get one. Who else have we got? Good to have Big E in the chat. Great to have you here. Yeah, so I think Tony's right that the Mini Champ is a marvel of miniature engineering. So Stuart, yeah, I think I'm fully aligned with your Alox SD, which is great. Yeah, the Halloween, was that a Smoky Knife Works one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a new one this year, but that was Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Yeah. I've noticed they have some really good custom ones there.
They just sold sales though.
Yeah. Dave, definitely agree about the combi tool. I think that's good. Memphis, great to have you here. So that's great. Griff, fantastic to have you, Griff. I think you missed Sean showing off one of your slips. Oh, that's a bummer, Memphis Fire. But right, let's just have a quick look. I think that's most. Right. Okay, thanks, Dave. Yeah, Church Key is the old school bottle opener, tin opener. Okay, right, got that. Okay. Yeah, please don't with lighters to teeth. Yeah. My son can open a. He can take a cap off with a rolled up folded newspaper, but yeah, I quite like a cap lifter. But okay, right. And yeah, thanks, Mrs. Naked Sean. It is getting a little bit late here in the UK, but okay, thanks for that, everyone. So so that's the 58 millimeters. Going up in size, then, have you got any of the next size up? I'm trying to think what the size is. The
94.
Is it the 73? 73?
Oh, 74.
So I've got this one, which I think Randy will recognize.
The money clip.
The money clip, yeah. Which is like a giant classic SD, and it's just excellent. It's one of my favorite carriers. I know that Slippy and TK did a live stream about gentleman carries, and I think this makes an excellent gentleman carry. And I'm not really one for carrying money these days, but the clip means it fits into one of Randy's slips
Or in your pocket.
really well. So it's just perfect in the pocket
Great.
there. And then have you got any of the 73, did we say 73 millimeters?
I do.
Oh,
No, because it's really annoying that they've been discontinued.
No,
I've got this one, which I think is the Ambassador.
Okay.
It's like the Executive, but without the orange peeler. And again, this is just like sorry, no, it has got the orange peeler. I'll have to try this out actually. Once September's finished, I can have this as my everyday carry for a while, maybe. But it's a great size knife. Fits in the pocket really well. So moving on, so the next size up, that would be 84.
84. Yeah.
84. So what's your favorite 84 millimeter?
Well, I got a.
Who are you asking, man?
Go on, Randy. Sorry, go on, Randy. You.
Well, my favorite one was that Recruit that had the serrated blades, but I felt like I wanted to pass it on. I got the Wader. It's I like it a lot. It has just one blade, corkscrew, and then it has a combo tool, which I like a lot. I think this is a great first knife too, aside from the Recruit.
Yes.
It's just a single blade, and then you got that. You had the flathead Phillips, can opener, bottle opener, wire stripper, all in one.
Yeah.
Really slim carry. Plus, you can put tools in the bag, so you can put a little screwdriver right here.
Yeah.
If you want. Got the tweezers and a toothpick. So really great first knife, in my opinion. And then real quick, I forgot that I was going to show this one. This is the Baiju.
Right.
The SD Classic without the keyring.
Okay.
See, it's really cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's the only one.
And Sean, what's yours?
Well,
In that
as previously mentioned, I love the Recruit.
Yeah.
But I've also got a Lumberjack, which is with it also very closely resembling the Walker with the saw blade.
Oh, cool.
And the combi tool.
I like.
So this is the one without the tools in the scales, in the covers. But it's basically the same model.
Yeah, because I have the same, but with the keyring and the scale tools. So that's the Walker.
I mean, this has the keyring, but just no scale tools.
Right, yeah.
So, and it's a handy little carry if you kind of thinking that you might be outdoors and you might
yeah
need to cut some wood just as a sort of backup knife.
Yeah. Have you got any other of that size at all?
I have. Where have I just had that in my hand?
I mean, I just while you're finding it, I have a waiter that I won on Slippy and Thrifty's show. So it's one that Slippy has sort of modded. He sort of went at it with a file, and so it looks like a war-torn waiter, I think. So I think that was the start of Slippy's mods.
Yeah, I've got a couple of waiters, although I can only see one on the desk at the moment. I don't know where I put the other one. But Yeah, so you get the combi tool, the corkscrew, and just the main blade.
Yeah.
And this was a little bargain, really. This was one I managed to pick up at a car boot sale, or the US equivalent would be a flea market, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
And I think I paid about 10 pence for this.
Wow.
I think that's a new world record for
Yeah. And it was
Swiss Army
obviously given out as a promotional
yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
But I carried this a lot when I worked in nursing, because it was so small and discreet and useful. Yeah. A little piece.
I'm just thinking the other two that I've got the Bantam, which is like the waiter but without the corkscrew. So let me get that in front. So that's that one, and then the other one that I won actually on the Slippy and Thrifty show is the Tourist. So very similar. It's got the corkscrew. It's got the awl as well. If I can open that up. Yeah, so it has the awl and then the two blades and the can opener. Ah, you is that the same? Yeah.
Yes,
that's
it.
it.
I forgot. I also have a Tinker Small, but that's Slippy. So.
Yeah. And then the one thing which is also one of my favorites. Let me just pop me up in there. And I think my favorites of Victorinox are the A-locks, and I just think the Bantam is just such a fantastic, super slim carry. It's just so thin.
Yeah.
You can literally just fit it in your wallet if you wanted.
Yeah.
And it's just such a useful mini multi-tool to have on you. So I'm a really big fan of this. And going up to the next size up, which is still a single layer, but the Swiss Army 2 is also something that arrived this week, and I saw that Gadget Gus did a review of this compared to the Swiss Army 1, and I think that's an awesome combination. If you're not too bothered about the tools, but having the hook blade, the hawk bill. And interestingly, as you go up in size, the scales are much thicker than on the Bantam. These are just, wafer thin compared to that.
Wow.
But it's still quite a good carry.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got one, Randy? Yeah?
Yeah, I got this from Retro Stew.
I
love it. This is awesome. It's super thin.
Yeah.
I love the feel, the tactile sensation of the awesome snap tube. But I love the way
I think I like it because I think it's just timeless, I think,
It just feels awesome.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop playing with it, stop rubbing it.
Yeah.
I guess since you already showed that one, I'll talk about the compact.
Yeah.
So this is I haven't been carrying this. I just got it just before the knife challenge. And it's 2 layers. You have this this is my favorite feature because I break my nails all the time. It has a nail file on the parcel hook.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So that's a great tool. Then I have fire tinder and a screwdriver on there. I have the screwdriver from the Swiss Card.
Yeah.
You got a single blade and the combi tool. So you have the Phillips flathead, putter, wire stripper, all that stuff. And then scissors. So I thought this is like, if you just needed one single knife to carry, this is perfect. I think this has on it. Has a pen, so you can, if you need to write down something. I was trying to make a minimalist kind of a carry. and this just fit the bill.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
And
carrying.
I think there's a lot of people that like the compact. I haven't got one yet.
It's
Again,
I don't like
it is a bit pricey, yeah, and especially in the US, I think.
$54.
Yeah,
So probably like 45, 50 pounds around there.
yeah.
So a bit much.
So, have we sort of exhausted that size of knife? Yeah.
I got more 91 millimeter. Can we just show them real quick?
Yeah.
That's all. Like these are the last two. So my most carried one, other than the camper, most carried one recently was the Tinker or Super Tinker.
Yeah.
I love this. It's similar to the Huntsman, but you got the screwdriver. And I figured I already had the camper, so I got this one instead. So this is my second set. I just wanted something, with a screwdriver on it. That also had scissors. I prefer having something with scissors on it now. I don't know. It just, I have a SD with me. Just having a pair of scissors is so handy. And I threw these silver lock scales.
I like the Silver Tech. It looks cool. Doesn't it?
And then this is gonna be my last one. I can show more smaller ones, but I had picked up. It's called. I can't remember what it was originally called, but it was the Victorinox space shuttle.
Yeah.
And the one that they gave to the astronauts, and it had one of the space shuttles on it, and it was really, really cool. And then one day I got this one in the mail, all the way from Northern Ireland. It's a combination of the Explorer and the Ranger, so it has all the tools all combined. And I love it. It has an inline screwdriver, which I really like. It has scissors, and I sent over the space shuttle to the Wee Judd because this is for Wee Judd.
Yeah.
But I have one of the Marlboro Victorinox knives called the Outdoorsman, and it's almost the same. It just has instead of the nail file, it has let me pull it out. It has a fish scaler, but I prefer the nail file.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fish. I'm going to give that to somebody. And this one has an extra back tool. It has the chisel. So this is probably my favorite one, just because it has everything. If I want to leave my keys and everything else at home, that's
quite a chunky boy, though, isn't it? That one.
I mean, but if you look at it this way,
it's
not. You put in your pocket. It's going to hang down like that.
Yeah.
Down in your pocket, so it's not too bad. It's thick. It's like 6 layers.
Yeah.
I think the only thing it needs is a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
I love it. This is awesome. So if Judd, if you see this, thank you.
Yeah. Judd's cool. Let me just have a quick check in the chat. So, I think we've set off Mikey. Mikey started doing the lumberjack song. Slippy, great to have you here. And let's just have a look. So I think that's right. That war-torn waiter, I think Slippy did have a good go at that. And so I think this was about me saying that Sean had a world record. I think Randy's always getting some amazing cheap knives. Stuart likes the Alox Bantam. Yeah, I agree. That's great. That sounds pretty good, Dave. That we'll have to see if that's something that Slippy can work on. Slippy's been doing some great mods. Some customs. He's been showing us at the weekend. Really good. I can't believe he's only been doing it about a month. So he's been selling a few in Discord. So keep a lookout if you're in Discord. Keep a look in the gear sales because they come up regularly. They normally get snapped up pretty quickly, though, I think, as well. And I think that's a bit too much information there. The Bantam. I think it's hard to beat the Bantam. So, let's move on. I need to read these comments before I sort of just pop them up. Great to have you here, though, Terry. So that's great. And right. So let's move on to the next size up, which is a 93 millimeter, 93 or 91. I've lost track now. What size is the Huntsman? That's
91.
91. Yeah.
91.
So we've had the Huntsman. Any other ones of that size?
Sean?
Any Sean?
Camper.
Okay.
Camper's a favourite.
And what's different about the Camper to the Huntsman? Is that?
So you're losing the saw.
Okay.
But it's just which means it's just a slightly slimmer carry.
Yeah.
And for day-to-day urban carry, it's a fantastic knife. Really, it takes a lot of beating.
Yeah.
I do like having scale tools as well. I've used the tweezers and toothpick on the models that I've carried with those so many times.
Yeah.
I just find them really useful. And I do like having the corkscrew, really, just because I wear glasses and, you get the option to carry the small screwdriver. Although, as I said at the weekend to Slippy, there's a slight flaw in that, because if you need to take your glasses off to repair them, you can't see the bloody screw. It's that small. And Slippy
So you have your
spare
glasses as well as that, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe a sort of Explorer or something with the magnifying glass would be better. But yeah, I love the Climber. It's a great model. Yeah. And also another favourite is the Spartan.
Yeah.
Just basic tool set, based closely on the original model. And I just like it for its simplicity, really.
Yeah.
Slim carry.
Nice.
Yeah. One I carried a lot.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those sort of archetypal Swiss Army knives. It's probably the Spartan or the Recruit that people are thinking of when you say Swiss Army knife. So, that's good. And Randy, did you have any more for this? Let me just show. I've just got the one really which we've sort of talked a little bit about, which is the Explorer. This was part of my search for the perfect knife, the perfect Swiss Army knife, and it's pretty close actually. And I think, as Randy said, the inline Phillips is brilliant, and the magnifying glass. Although I do like the older version that had the grey plastic with the magnifying glass inside, but it does work really well. And the only thing I found that was missing on this that would make it perfect would be a saw, I guess. But as an urban carry, I think this is really good. So,
I have to admit, I've never had to use the saw. I've used it just to play with it and to see. Yeah. I've never used the saw. I never needed to.
I've been trying to do a little bit of bushcraft at home, and I've been desperately looking for fat wood and failing pretty much in UK pine forest. So I have been using the saw quite a bit. But maybe just because that's on the Farmer X. So the Farmer X is really like a Huntsman, but in Alox, I guess. But
I
it's
always-
a cracking carry. The thing I found really good about doing this September challenge is you really get to know a knife a little bit better, because if you're carrying 2 or 3, you pick the right knife for the job, but you have to make the one you're carrying work. So I found that really good. As I say, the only thing I've missed has been the nail file, really, but otherwise that's good. So that's a 94 millimeter, 93 millimeter. I'm trying to think what size these are, the Alox ones.
I like that they would file.
Is it 93?
93, I think. Yeah. Sorry, Randy. What was that?
I like when they incorporate the file onto tools like the parcel hook or the screwdriver.
Yeah.
Wish they did that more often. Maybe even on the can opener, they could put it on the side so you had some kind of file.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
more use is cool.
I think Mike is obviously a film buff because this is Spartan. Griff has used the saw on dog walks. That's good to know. And I think Mikey, the inline Phillips is one of my favorite. Right, let's move on quickly from that one. Alox main blade is a good one for a single carry. So is that the Alox one, Griff? I guess, yeah. Is that it there, Mikey? Yeah.
That's
Mikey, Sean, yeah. Let's put that up.
Yeah, that's the Alex one. So if I can just quickly right with the Spartan, just show the two. I don't know whether I'm lining up very well there, but you can see the difference in blade stock.
Yeah.
And it really in hand is noticeable. And I think this is a great pocket knife, really.
Yeah.
Lightweight
And
decent size, even for my large mitts. And you've got that extra bit of blade stock there that gives you a bit more feeling of being able to do a bit more work with it.
Yeah.
Slim in the pocket, lightweight, but you don't feel undergunned when you're carrying it, if you like. It's decent bit of.
I think it's another sort of gentleman's carry, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Almost.
But it feels beefy enough to get a bit of work done as well,
Yeah. And talking about that, if you see the cap lifter or flathead on the Alox here, it's thicker than on the standard one as well. Which I like on that. So this is the Pioneer X, which the other thing which is excellent about the Alox. Let me just make it a bit bigger. So so the thing that's excellent about the Alox is when they have the awl, the inline awl is fantastic. I wish there was a way they could put an inline Phillips on an Alox as well. That would be cool. And this has the scissors. So I've carried the Pioneer X a lot, and so it's an excellent. The scissors are fantastic. You can cut through anything with those, really. And then I've said the Farmer X. The only other one, which is the Swiss Army 7 or the Harvester, and then instead of having the can opener, you have the Hawkbill, which is great. So,
I like that they do different blade shapes. I wish they would do that more. Actually, on my Tinker Small, instead of a pin blade, it has a little clip point. And
I think it would be great. I'm hoping that they've been talking about some new models and some innovations. I'm hoping that with those, that they bring out some a few different blades.
they have a Warncliffe or
Oh, a Warncliffe or a sheep's foot. A sheep's foot would I would definitely buy that. Any other ones in this size at all?
Not that I have with me.
I have a soldier.
Ah, okay.
Which is
Nice.
very much like the Pioneer without the keyring.
Yeah.
And this one is the thing with the soldiers are that they're dated on the tang.
Yeah.
But this was the year we moved into this house, so
yeah.
There's a bit of a memento really for moving in. But like you say, the inline oil is a cracking piece of kit, really.
Yeah, when I was doing a review, one of the commenters said they've managed to bend it, but I don't know what they were trying to do with it. So, here's a sort of a quick poll. Although just let me know in the comments, what are people's views? Let me just put this back up to. So what are people's views about having an eyelet on like on the Farmer X, or just having it without one? What are people's views on that for the A-locks?
For me, it depends on which one.
Okay, so what? So for the smaller one, you think you would?
I think for like smaller ones, I would almost want to take it off.
Yeah.
Bigger one, having a lanyard on there would be kind of nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hot spot though on the Farmer X. It's one of the things that I'm least keen on about this. And
although I saw somebody make a speed can opener out of one. What was it, Felix? Somebody made a video.
Oh, really? I'll have to look that up. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Sean, on eyelets or not eyelets?
Yeah, I know. I agree in terms of it being a bit of a hot spot. Kind of digs into the fleshy part of your hand when you take a good grip. This is just a Farmer, not the X, but this is same size, obviously. And to be honest, I don't really ever use the keyring on most of these. I'm probably just as well to take it off and file it down.
Yeah,
I find it gets in the way a bit. That's anything, and of some of the tools, you can end up catching the blade when you close it.
It's strange because it's very different to the normal eyelet. Let's do it back to back. It just sticks up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which is just enough to dig into the fleshy part of your hand there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And become annoying. I mean, really and truly, a Victorinox knife isn't, one of these sacks isn't going to be something you're going to be doing a lot of long-term use with. I don't really think.
No.
For most of us, anyway. So shouldn't be a major issue, but it is noticeably more uncomfortable on the AOX models than it is on the Celador ones.
It seems to be. I'm guessing that. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Why I notice it less.
It kicks up a little bit more if you compare the two.
A little bit thicker, so.
Oh, it's a slightly different angle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was just looking at
just
these.
sticks up a little bit more vertically.
Yeah. Here it comes up at an angle, whereas this is a definite 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've got the Farmer there, Sean, yeah?
Yeah.
Any other ones in that size?
I haven't. No, I've got a few on my wish list, but again,
that list never seems to get shorter, does it?
No. I mean, I do have a. This again was the late 80s.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got, you know, the vast array of tools, the opening layers, can opener, bottle openers, screwdrivers, etc.
Yeah.
Phillips, which is in line, magnifying glass, pliers, scissors, if I can see what I'm doing.
I think it's a great idea to have all the tools. I'm just not sure I'd ever want to carry it. That's all.
Yeah. To be honest, this is one I've carried the least of any of them.
Yeah.
Just purely and simply because of the size and bulk of it.
Yeah.
I have taken it when I've been away on trips, just to have the tool set. Really, bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm nearly there.
Got one more to show too.
Yeah, I guess.
I've been away,
Yeah.
but this is an older model, so it doesn't have the parcel hook. But you've got you've got a small flathead screwdriver, and then you've got like a little chisel.
Yeah.
On this as well. But yeah, too bulky really for me to carry. I bought it with the pouch.
Okay.
But it's only really ever been carried in a bag when I've been away, just so I've kind of had the tools there to back up if I needed them.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's done some work. It's been useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably one of my least used. That.
Yeah. It's probably like my Leatherman rebar. Yeah. Ah, Randy, what's this?
So, this is my Swiss Champ knockoff from China. The only thing I didn't. That's not me. The only thing that didn't come with it else it didn't have the opening for the toothpick and tweezers, but I wanted to show off like the magnifier. So it's metal.
Right.
It's metal with a rubber O-ring, and then you get the. So you can just if it broke, you can put a new one in there.
Oh, that's cool.
And another, I mean, I love the pliers on it, but another interesting fact about this one, it's a #1 Phillips head, where most Victorinox come with a #2.
Yeah.
So I like that. It's kind of like that's a bit harder to fit something into.
Yeah.
Versus where if you had, you can use one of the tools for that. You can use a.
Oh, it's like a 2D Phillips. Yeah. I've done that. Yeah.
So really cool.
Yeah.
But that's the last one I'll show.
Okay. Just a quick look in the chat. So Dave, he carries a Real Steel Luna. Yeah, I really like the Real Steel Luna, but uses for outdoor camping, carry other stuff. Always a farmer for whittling. Griff, yeah, the Alox blade is thicker, and yeah, Tony, yeah, agree 100%. The inline all, so I think that's. I think we've lost Nigel, but that's great to have you for a while. Yeah, Tony's got to go. Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Chuck, as well. Oh, yeah. So a keychain knife, you know, that's what the 50. Well, I guess the 58 millimeters is about the same as that. Yeah, Dave has the farmer and not had the X. Yeah, Zen, that's a great point. The electrician is on my list. You haven't got one of those, have you, Sean? The electrician?
No, I haven't. No. Again, another one on my list.
Yeah, and so I think that's a great one to have. Yeah. This is the thing about modding. I guess you've got to work out which way it's going to go. Anyway, thanks for being here, Stuart. That's great. That really just leaves the big knives. I don't think you've got any of those, have you, Randy? Any of the 111 or above?
I got a substitute.
Oh, okay. Okay, what have you got?
Gerber suspension. You got the
Cool.
cap holder, 2D Phillips, wire stripper saw, locking knife, locking serrated blade,
Yeah.
scissors, smaller screwdriver, can opener, cap lifter, and of course, close these real quick. You have pliers. You got your pliers, bolt holder, and wire cutters.
Yeah.
Really, really handy. I love this one a lot. I used it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll show you. Go ahead and go to. You guys can show one of the larger ones.
Okay, Sean, have you got one to hand?
Well, before we move on to the larger knives, I just feel we ought to mention the floral.
Ah, yes.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
Fantastic.
So I heard some bad news at the weekend.
Value, fantastic. Yes.
And someone said that they're going to be discontinuing those. So if you haven't got one, now's the time to get one. The cracking value really cheap on even on Amazon. You can get different colors, and now's probably the time to get one if you haven't already.
And they're just a lovely little working blade, robust. They have the different kind of covers. They're more of a sort of textured nylon cover than the Celador. But a fantastic slicer.
Yeah, it's a chisel grind as well, isn't it?
Chisel grind, which when I first heard that, I was I think I was put off a little bit, but having used one, no need to be put off. They're fantastic knives.
Yeah,
and I know our friend Tony is a big fan.
He is.
Yeah.
And it's a good shout out, that.
And also they do the pruner as well, in the same kind of cover.
Because the blades seem a little bit thinner than the standard Victorinox blade, I think.
I've not really compared them.
I need to check. I need to get one first. So I think after the show, I'm probably going to be jumping onto Amazon to get one to make sure I don't miss out.
I don't think they are.
Oh, they're not thinner.
No,
okay. Maybe it's just a chisel grind that makes them look thinner.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's. I think the stock is about the same.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, value for money, hard to beat, really.
Yeah.
But
cool.
The 111s, I have a Forester.
Okay, yeah.
Locking blade and locking flathead.
Yeah,
going the wrong way. Flathead screwdriver bottle opener. This is a good outdoors knife. Nice saw, nice length to that. Just gives you a little bit more reach than the 91 mils.
I bought my son's one similar to that, but with the one-hand opening blade. I think that's the Trailmaster, or in the US, I think it's called the Trekker.
Yeah.
That is that it? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on whether it's got the corkscrew or the Phillips driver as to which is which.
Yeah, it's one called the Field Master, I think.
Do you know, I get mixed up. I really can't remember, especially
Yeah.
this late at night after too much to drink and busy weekend.
Yeah,
But they're good knives.
yeah.
Both.
It's a real shame that they're not UK legal because they're a cracking carry. My sons carry them either when they're working or around the property sort of thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
when I say my sons, they're both in their 30s, so they're not like kids. It's a
Right.
bit big for a young kid's knife, I think.
I think the Fieldmaster is a 91 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah, right. You're right. I think the Fieldmaster is the Huntsman, but with a Phillips, isn't it, instead of a corkscrew?
Has a Phillips.
Okay. Yeah.
100%. That's a nice
Right.
one, though.
Yeah. Sure. Any other that size, Sean?
No, I had a Wenger Ranger, which was basically the same tool set as this one, but it had a clip point. Slightly different style.
Yeah.
I think it might have even been slightly longer as well. But I gave it to my son because he was going camping and said, "Oh, you haven't got a knife I can borrow," and I just said, "Oh, I'll take that one." It's and the saw on that as well was longer, so I'm assuming the main blade was longer as well, which it was a cracking knife actually. But
I mean those saws. It's amazing the size of branch that you can cut through with those because they cut on both the pull and the push, and they get through remarkably quickly.
And I think even with the smaller saws even like on the like the Walker type
or the Huntsman,
even on the Walker or the Lumberjack size, the 84 mil. If you are careful with what you do and don't force it, let the saw do the work. It's surprising what you can do with it. It really is.
Easily a 2-inch branch. It'd take a little while, but not as long as you think. Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're in a situation where you needed to get something done, I mean, if you saw part way through it and then smack it against a tree trunk or whatever, you'll snap it off anyway. So, but they're very, very effective.
Yeah, and quite a clean cut as well because the teeth are quite small. Sorry, Randy, do you have something?
I was gonna say I gotta check out the rescue tool. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, who showed one of those? Who showed one recently?
What's that?
Who showed one of those recently? I remember seeing somebody.
CB Tactical did a pass around, and it's been on a lot of channels. And it was
Tom had one last week.
Tom had one last week.
Tom.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Because it has the replaceable knife glass saw as well on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just to go quickly through mine, the first big one that I bought was the Hercules. Which is big. It has the pliers on, which are excellent. And it has the saw. It has a locking blade. This one is the old version, so it's got the sliding lock and huge pair of scissors, which are great. The saw and everything else, and 2 inline Phillips on this, if I can find them, which I've lost them at the moment. The only thing is they're sort of hidden behind the scissors and the I don't think am I gonna get that out? There we go. Yeah, so the scissors was holding it in. So that's the small one, and then there's the other large one. So I found this to be really good. So I don't carry it out because it's not UK legal, but it's great if I'm doing anything around the house or gardening. and it has the usual back tools of the corkscrew and the reamer as well. So that's good. And then my more recent one, which I think I probably showed last week, which I'm really happy with. That's the Cheese Master. I'm just working on a little travel kit to go with this. So what I want to have is a little tub that I can put cheese and crackers in, and then I've got them here ready to go. I've got some well, actually they're fairly small, some bamboo chopping boards that I can have in a rucksack, and then I can carry my Cheese Master, and if I'm stopped, I can explain exactly why I've got it, because I'm having a picnic. So I'm going to put that together and then do a video on that eventually.
I like that.
So I think that's gone through all of them. We'll come back in a minute just to say, if you had to pick one, because I like to make it difficult for you. Which one would you pick? What's that you've got there, Randy?
Thing to show, just because I don't have any larger ones. This is the Leatherman Sidekick.
Okay, yeah.
Got a locking saw, a locking blade, very sharp. You've got a 2D Phillips flathead with wire strippers. You have a can opener, bottle opener. You have a measuring tool, smaller, flathead, and it has a file on it. Then you have a serrated blade, lanyard, and then the wire cutter, pliers. But the reason why I pulled this one out, because it has a pocket clip.
Yeah.
And two, it feels comfortable. This is one, it's a knife where you can pull it out. It's locked, but it feels comfortable in the hand. I think you would really like this one.
Yeah.
I know
it's just a shame they're locking. That's the only thing. So we can't. Yeah. That they're not legal carry, but otherwise,
I use it around the house all the time.
Yeah. No, that's good. I was just looking at a couple of the things. So, so Dave's a fan of the floral.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that, Dave. It's just it's having the right reason that's going to stand up, I think. So another Leatherman fan here. Cheese and crackers and wine maybe as well. And definitely would like to see the sheep's foot on more models. That's great. We won't go into it much, but the other thing that's quite good are the Victorinox Swiss cards as well, and this one, which is the nail care one, is should be flight friendly as well. So I got this one to get me ready for if I'm thinking about an October challenge of carrying a traditional knife for the month, and then I'm going to miss the scissors, so I can carry this as well because it's not a knife. So that might be my cheat for that. And one other honorable mention for Victorinox is the sharpener. So this, when you extend it, you get a great handle to use, and it just works. It works really well on the Victorinox knives, as you'd expect. The only thing I'd say is don't bother with the ceramic pull through. It's not great, but the other sharpener is brilliant. And I'd say this was pretty much idiot proof because I can use it. So if I can use it, anybody can. So before we come back and say which one was our favorite, there's a bit of the show that I always like doing. It's a bit of fun, and I like to put guests on the spot, even our regulars. So I wanted to do a keep, carry, scrap. So I've set one up. As you can guess, it's going to be Victorinox, and you know the rules, don't you? So of the three knives, one is to keep but not use, so it's like it goes into your collection. One is a user, so to carry it, use and abuse it, and then the third is to scrap or give away. I think we wouldn't want to throw it away. We'd give it away. So these are the three. I had a quick look on eBay this evening, and I came up with these three. So just to talk you through them, this one is the Tinker. It's in titanium scales with Makume inlay. Not quite sure what that is. It looks really classy though. The second one is the replica 1897. So this was when they celebrated their 125th anniversary. And that's really good because it's got I really like this chunky flat head. It's got the clip point, the more old-fashioned awl, and the can opener. And then this one is, I've never seen this one before. This is a Huntsman in Staghorn. And I know a lot of the knife guys like a bit of stag. So let's go first with you then, Randy. Which one would you keep, carry, and scrap?
It's easy. So I would keep the Huntsman.
Yeah.
Stag I would not want to carry it in my pocket. The second one's a little bit harder. I like more vintage stuff, so I would have to go with the replica.
Yeah.
As the carry. And then I guess I'd scrap the titanium one.
Okay, so you'll give that to one of your friends, yeah? Like maybe me or Sean, because and Sean, which would you pick?
Oh, this is hard, isn't it? I don't want to play this game.
I've got to get Slippy on here because Slippy would just say keep them all, wouldn't he? So yeah, so
I think what I would do is I would carry that Huntsman stag because I think I just have to carry it if I had it. I think I would keep the replica.
Yeah,
because I've always fancied an older model. I've looked and I've seen them for sale. Never been kind of at the point of being able to get one when I've seen them because some of them make some silly money.
Yeah, I mean this wasn't cheap either. Even the replica.
No.
So you keep that, and then the titanium one would.
Titanium one, I think I would give that away.
Yeah.
To someone because it's hard, isn't it? It's really hard. Yeah, I think I'd let that one go to someone. I wouldn't obviously scrap it because.
No. I don't think we'd ever scrap. But yeah, so if this was for real, I wouldn't mind having that one because when you look at the prices on these, and I had to look on the US eBay because you won't find a Victorinox on a UK eBay. I've looked and you only get Victorinox related stuff. So yeah, so $625 for the titanium one. $550. No, you didn't. There's no wrong choice in this. First of all, plus you went with your heart, not with the dollar signs, which which is what I would expect.
Isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we can all go on a website in at knives, and you can see knives for thousands of dollars, and you just think, no, it's not for me. Not because of the price particularly, because I've seen expensive knives that I think, that is for me, but my wallet says different. Sometimes you don't need all the bells and whistles, do you? I think for me anyway, I prefer natural materials.
Replica. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think I would probably have gone with Randy's choice myself. I would have carried this just because I think it's a bit different, and probably kept the stag.
that clip point was like, wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and I think I get a kick out of using that. I mean, I like the corkscrew as well. The corkscrews.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's simple though, but I love it.
Yeah, and this is a little bit bling for me, but yeah. I mean, this is the price it was up for. I think, as Zen is saying, good luck getting 600 for that. So, just a few of the comments. So Dave's saying, yeah. I think if you're not stupid and you're not stopped, it's okay. But as I've said to a few people, I'm a foster carer, so I can't really afford to get in trouble with the police. That wouldn't be very good.
And I just want to say though, I'm not crazy about titanium.
Yeah,
it's not bad. Oh my god.
Yeah. There are quite a few people in the EDC community and knife community who, love titanium. And
it's fair enough. It's whatever floats your boat, isn't it?
Yeah. So Zen would carry the
Careful, Mark. Careful.
Carry the Huntsman and keep the replica. Dave, he'd even Mel C. Right, that's lost on me. Sorry, Dave. That's yeah. Got to be the stag. And right. So let's just put us back to this one. So okay, out of your Victorinox, if you had to get rid of all of them and you could just keep one, which one would you keep out of those?
I got a few.
Huntsman.
Okay, it can be only one, Randy. What would be your one?
Well, first I thought about the Super Tinker, but I would scrap that one. It's got to be the Explorer Ranger, my custom for Weejud. It just has everything on it. If I only needed one, leave my keys at home, leave everything.
Yeah. Okay. For me now, if you'd have asked me about 2 months ago, it would have been Midnight Manager.
Yeah.
But I've been carrying. I'll make sure I pick up the right one. I've been carrying this Farmer X for a month, and I've really enjoyed carrying that. I think I'd probably want to pair it up with maybe this, but then I also thought if I paired this up with that, because that's quite an easy carry, isn't it? This fits in your wallet pretty much. Well, I could almost instead of the Farmer X, then I could maybe go for the Swiss Army 7. So I think it would be the Swiss Army 7 because it's got the hawk bill and the saw.
Yeah.
And then as long as this doesn't count as my second Victor, because it's not a proper knife, but I'd maybe think about that.
I got one. One last thing. I prefer to have the Celador scales for the toothpick because I get stuff in my teeth all the time, and the tweezers. But these tweezers, they're not going to show up. They have measurements on both sides. They have centimeters and the inches on the other side. So really cool. Like you can mod a knife really well. Just like I was showing with the compact, you have. So if I was only going to carry one, I'd take off that screwdriver. I'd probably put on the corkscrew tools. So I would mod it out for sure.
Yeah. If you were going to have a modded knife, a modded Victorinox, if you're thinking about putting asking say Slippy or Dan Blaybridge to do a special custom version for you, what sort of combination would you be looking for, and would you go for Alox or Celidor? Oh, well, Dan doesn't do Celidor, I think. Dan doesn't do Alox, so
I would do a brass covers, brass liners, and all blades. I would have a pin blade, a spear point, Warncliffe, Hawksbill or Hawkbill. So a 4-bladed sack with just blades.
I think that's a real US version, Randy. I think that's like rebuilding your own sort of Stockman Plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, I think that's really interesting. And Sean, what would you pick?
That is a tough one. The thing is with the sack, as the sort of standard models come out, I mean, there's kind of something for everyone, isn't there? Lots of different tools, but then I think we've all said before that, you know, quite often combinations of tool sets you get in various models aren't quite, you know, you could always think, well, if only this had a saw, or if this had an inline screwdriver, and it depends what I was going to use it for. If it was an urban carry or for going out sort of in the wilds with, it would vary.
Yeah,
I'd like to see one with a good clip point.
yeah.
I really like to see.
I really hope they bring some different blades in. Yeah. How do you feel about the crossover mods like the Spidernoxes?
I mean, they're interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting. I mean, it starts becoming something else, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Else. Because then you could sort of, what if you put a, Book 1 12 blade on a Victorinox, or, do you know what I mean? Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
One of those on there.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think if I was having a custom, I'd probably want the inline awl, scissors, and Dave asked a question: how much do I use the scissors? I use them a lot because I can never find scissors in our house. My wife is always buying them. I have no idea where they go to. But then you find you've got to wrap a present, and I don't know if you've tried the Victorinox scissors, but you just have them half closed and just run them along wrapping paper, and it just slices through it. That they're super sharp. So
well, I got a question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
And for you too, Tron. And I'll answer it first real quick. What would you like to see from Victorinox? Personally, I'd love to see some kind of Barlow. An Alox Barlow.
Okay.
That'd be really cool. I love that. How about you, Sean?
That's not as crazy as it might sound at first, because they have introduced, I forget what it's called now, that new single blade. Is it a Hunter or something?
The Hunter, the big one. Is it like 136? Well, and there's the fixed blade. Is it the Venture? Because Felix Imler, I think, consulted on that. I think that might be a stretch.
Yeah,
to be honest, Randy.
Yes, it's kind of straying off the kind of idea of a Swiss Army knife that most people would have.
Yeah. So what would you like to see then, Sean? What would you like to see them do?
I'd like to see them offer some different blade steels.
Yeah.
Without kind of elevating the prices ridiculously.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the problem. I think I'd like to see them offer a custom service, actually, and to give you a chance to build your own knife. And I think they're missing a trick there, because they've got all the setup to do it. Some of the knives have to be hand finished, some are hand built. So they're doing that already. I'd really like to see the package opener tool, the new one that's on the Swiss Spirit. I'd like to see that. Ideally probably replacing the can opener and switching out to a combi blade, combi tool. I think the combi tools are really good. I'd also like to see a nice, I don't know, mid-size, say 84mm bladeless Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army tool. I'd really like to see that, because that could be useful for traveling. And so I'd just like to see them bringing out more new models than they discontinue, because I think the range has been contracting a lot. I still like the idea that they have a person in mind, you know, the climber, the walker, the waiter. I like the way they do that, and I hope they keep that. But I just want to see a little bit of innovation. Maybe, I think for me, more blade shapes rather than blade steels, because I like the inox. I can sharpen it, for one thing. It holds an edge okay. I like it because it's stainless, and you know, I'm not really a carbon steel person. It's too much hassle, so I think there's I think there's a bit of I think, well, I just hope that I just hope they come up with something different. I think the fixed blade knife was good. Those big knives, they're probably they are for the American market. I think that's good. I'd like to see less of the lifestyle ones. Maybe they're Victorinox for ladies. I'm not sure. Maybe thinking about what women want in their Swiss Army knives is something. So I was just looking down some of the things. I've seen. Thanks for that, Zen. I'm going to skip that because there are ladies present. Hi, Kathleen. Great to have you back. I'd love to see the sheep's foot. The scissors on the Swiss card. I wouldn't say they're great. I'd say they're okay. But because they are a little bit fiddly to use, it's not quite as comfortable as on the thing. But they're not bad. So I think that's a good thing. Dave's got plans for an Alox Barlow mod, so it'd be good to see that. I think having different scales would be good. So having those as standard could be good. I like the idea. Sheep's foot, inline Phillips, inline awl as well. If you can fit some scissors in there, that could be. The stainless steel pins, I think it's because they're on the hand finished ones. I don't think they can get a machine to put the steel pin in. That's what I'm guessing. I like the idea of 14C. I think. Right, the companion. Thanks, Kathleen. I think that this is the modern one. Yeah, I think it's good. I'd like to see the that package opener on some cheaper ones as well. Coloured Alox without being yearly specials, that would be great. So
that would be good.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've gone on quite a long time today. Thanks to the people that have stayed with us. Thanks for people that have joined us partway through. And if anybody watches and the catch up, you know, I appreciate that. Tony, great that you could pop off and do stuff and still come back. So that's always good. A really big thanks to Randy for joining us. Great to have you on the live, Randy. And if you haven't already, and I can't believe you haven't, but please subscribe to Randy. Go back and check some of his stuff. He's just done a great video on the Halloween Barlow, is it?
From Bear and Son.
From Bear and Son. Go check that out. Put a comment in the in the chat if you think that Sean should have his own show. He's got his own computer now. There's nothing holding him back, and but I think it would be great for Sean to do that. So Randy and Sean are going to be regulars. Hopefully, either both or one of them. I am sorting out some guests. I'm hoping to have Singing Toad, Dave from Canada on fairly soon. He could be the next one. I just need to get a bit better organized in fixing people up. If there's anybody in the chat who's got their own YouTube channel, then please contact me if you want to come on and do some stuff. Yes, that's Tony's. That was from Tony, wasn't it? And
it was.
Yeah, if Tony's there, yeah, let's get it there. A big thank you, Tony. So, not only is it a Welsh thing, but it's also another cap lifter to add to my collection. So big thank you again, Tony. Yeah, so if there's anybody who's got a channel who would like to come on here, I'm always looking for guests. I want to schedule a few in. If you can face the challenge of the keep, carry, scrap, I try and give you some tricky ones. Hopefully it was a bit tricky today. And for most people, if you've got a channel, it will be good just to do the knife stories as we've done with Tom and with Terry, and just to hear a bit about how you got into knives or EDC, and what made you start having a channel. What sort of channels did you like? Did you watch before, that sort of thing? Because I find that, you know, the most fun part about the lives is just chatting to people like this. So anyway, big thank you to everybody. Make sure that you subscribe to Randy. Check out some of his latest stuff because it's really good. Be good to get a few more watch hours for him on the clock as well. So that would be great. Anyway, thanks for everybody. And
thanks, everybody.
We'll see you next week. Okay. Thanks.